Yes.
Thank you all for coming. It's so nice to see some lovely friends and family here. This is going to be a pretty casual affair with Mum's car and all her bits and pieces that friends have given her over the years, and photos and bits and pieces. I'd like my mum to be remembered with stories of her life and what she've had with. Now, I'll start with a brief overview of one of the stories when we were in England. We were travelling to a country inn, and we were going to a little pub, and we had all the kids there and such like. And we were about to leave the inn, and there's a little creek in the garden of the inn. And I was throwing stones like all boys do when they're 9 years old. And I was going to throw one last stone into this beautiful little creek. And Mum and Dad said, "Come on, we're away." So I started throwing the stone, and into the creek I went. So little 9-year-old Sean was wet. So in the car on the way home, little old Sean wanted to go for a wee. So I stopped the car next to a field on the way home, and off I went, wet as, just little shorts on, and popped in, went, did the business. Unbeknown to me, this was a field of stinging nettles. So, to say the least, on the way home, it was quite a itchy and sort of a harrowing time. Mum used to travel with Dad, and they'd go to Fiji, they'd go to Samoa, and they were real travellers in their time. We used to do a lot of camping from the tops of, we've been to John O'Groats, to Land's End in England, we've been to, what's the one in New Zealand? Cape Reinga, to the Bluff down in the South Island. We've camped everywhere, and a lot of you guys have been camping with us as well. We've in Lowburn and Hawea, such fun times, and you never want to miss those sort of things. Next page, excuse me. If there are anyone else that would like to share with one of their stories, they're quite welcome, and then we'll do some other bits and pieces after you guys have said some stories. But thank you so much for coming, much appreciated. Would anyone like to share a story?
Patricia Mary Sawyers, Knee Corner. This is our time to say farewell as you get to start your next journey. I have vivid memories of our house and growing up in Wingatui. Some good times and probably not so good times. Thank you for all your support. You followed me when I played music, raced speedway cars, plus times we spent with you and your family over on the coast, Botanica. So we shall always remember you. Travel safe. Godspeed.
I'm Patsy's niece. I'm Angela. I'm Ange, but I'm Angela to my family. Patsy is my dad's older sister. They've always shared a really special relationship. Dad was only 3 when his mum died, and Judy was 6 and Patsy was 8. As the oldest, Patsy always took on that role of caring for her sister and her brother. And Dad and Patsy have always been really close, and she's been a really good friend to Mum as well. Patsy's always supported Dad, as he said, with everything that he did, whether it was playing in the Chelsea set, racing speedway cars or go-karts or whatever he did, she followed him and supported him. Brendan and I are really lucky to have had Patsy as our auntie. We've got beautiful memories of visits and family holidays and Christmas days celebrated together. She always made time to talk to us about what we were up to, and especially when we became parents. She was always really interested in what Campbell, Alyssa and McCartney and Piper were doing. She took a keen interest in their singing and just always there for us. Mum and Dad have got some great stories of summer holidays camping in Lowburn. Mostly you're all having fun and Patsy keeping him in line. Patsy always did the driving, but Mum tells a story of when we were camping. Uncle Earl said, "Come on, Jill, let's get in the car and go for a ride." And Wanda and Sean were in the back sleeping, and they were in the car and they went from Lowburn to Cromwell, and then he said, "No, hang on, let's go to Wanaka." He turned around and Patsy was sitting going, "Oh my Lord, what is he doing?" And then later Patsy said to him, "You realise he doesn't have a licence." I remember a holiday in Hawaii where we spent time boating on the lake during the day and racing Dad's modified in Cromwell at night. Patsy always supported Dad's speedway. She followed him wherever he went. I was lucky to stay with Patsy and Earl when I was studying to be a nurse, and when I was at Ross Home, and I was very well taken care of. Came home to Mum like, this was great. Meals, everything, well taken care of and loved. My fondest memories would be Christmas days at Rose Terrace. They were some very special times. Family time together, eating way too much. Granddad's sherry soaked trifle that we would almost get drunk off the smell of it. Telling lots of stories that always the day ended in a sing-along in the front room. And I would just like to thank Patsy for all the memories that we've shared. Don't think of her as gone away. Her story's just begun. Life holds many facets. This earth is only one.
Anyone else have any little stories they want to say?
Hello everyone, my name's Pat and I was friends with Patsy and Errol and the children for at least 40 years. We had some wonderful times, great picnics up at Mount Allen Station, pinching apples off the fruit trees, and the dogs in the water getting wet. It was Cleo and our dog Bozo were great friends as well. I will really, really miss her since Bruce and I have come back to Dunedin. She's been very close, always popping in out into Mosgiel where her and I set the world, the hospital board and everything else to rights. I'm sure we could have organised it all much better than the people who currently do it, or at least that was our opinion. So Patsy, you will be really, really missed, as was Errol when he died nearly 5 years ago. And Patsy breathed for Errol from the time he died, and I'm just hoping that that's where she is now, sorting him out and making sure that he's got a current haircut. So Patsy, you will be really, really missed, and I'm sorry that you children are going to have to go through some years now without your mum, because she loved you all dearly. You were very precious to her.
Thanks, Kate. Any other beautiful people?
Hi, I'm Laurie, Patsy's nephew. Just on behalf of Joan and me, who couldn't be here, we came over from Australia when I was 13 and she would have been 8, and we spent a lot of time at Rhodes Terrace. Every Friday Grandad would drive us in whether Patsy and Errol wanted it or not. We thought, I always used to think we were interrupting them because I wanted to have quiet Fridays, but I think Errol probably enjoyed the distraction and Patsy liked to spoil us. Oh God, So that might be true. I know Jane would have loved to have been here, but I can't wait to get back to 12 Rhodes Terrace, that's Al Mariah. We've spent the best times with our Kaumata. Rest in peace, please.
Thank you, Laurie.
I'll try to say something. I know this is a rather unusual funeral, but you're all the special people in our lives. And as you say, like, you were a really long time friends, and Pauline, like, she was one of my best mates growing up, and Gregory. And Ben last night, like, he made the wee program, so there's one of those for all of you. And like Laurie, he's like my brother, and I'm so glad that Bill and Linda could come down, and Campbell and Melissa. I mean, what can I say about them? And Dennis, thank you for that. And Angela, Angela and Jill and Tony. I can't thank you enough for what you've done. And Melanie coming down, because I haven't seen Melanie since she was 1. So this is tied up a lot of loose ends. I just wanted to say, because I think Jane and David and Tom, they couldn't be here, and I just want them to know how much they've missed. And yeah, it'd be good when we go back to Rhodes Terrace and have a cup of tea there. And of course I can't miss out Audrey and Jenny and Tony. I don't know where he is. He keeps disappearing on me. Yeah, and I just want to thank you all for coming.
And little Jen. Did you do Jen? Okay.
Yeah, and Sierra, of course, she couldn't be here either.
She's in America.
I just want
And
to
Ben.
say that.
Just thanks to Tony for making those difficult phone calls still in the morning.
Yeah, that was really hard.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thanks, brother.
I'll try and say something. I'm the oldest son. This is already me. Sister. Just the both.
That's enough? Okay.
If I may,
Go for it, my friend.
all the words that everyone has spoken today means a hell of a lot, but I think our actions speak a lot more. Yeah, and we are here, and we are here because we love Patsy. Thank you.
I have a very special thing now. Campbell and maybe someone else, Alyssa, will come out and do their most private karaoke. Is that correct? You guys are so sweet.
Amen.
Thank you.
All right. That if anyone else would like to say anything, what we'll do now is we've got a little book to sign or a piece of paper to sign to just say what you feel, and then we're going to head back to Rhodes Terrace and have a cup of tea, some food, lots of kai, and maybe a beer if anyone wishes to have that. That's really all I have to say. Thank you so much for travelling and coming to see my mum and send her off with your feelings.
Old ladies don't like cigarettes. I know.
They're 16.
Oh, it is.
Cigarette. Oh, that's it.
Did you have it's
Tia ho